On Friday, Donald Trump posted, "I absolutely love that Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings." The president went on, "I hear Jimmy Kimmel is next." Nope, no, absolutely not, Kimmel. I am the martyr, okay? How dare you, sir? Would an untalented man be able to compose the following satirical witticism? Go yourself.
Stephen Colbert walked onto his canceled show, microphone still in hand, and unloaded the harsh truth. He joked, he jabbed, and he exposed Trump's inability to handle even the smallest critique. But here's the kicker. Trump's furious reaction might just be his biggest unintentional joke yet. Before we continue, if you appreciate this content, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe. It's free and it helps our channel grow. Thank you. Now back to the video. Imagine it. You walk onto the stage for your final show, not just the end of your season, but the end of an era. What would you do? Reflect on fond memories and thank the audience, right? Well, if you're Stephen Colbert, you aim that microphone like a laser pointer directly at Donald Trump. Canceled or not, Colbert wasn't about to skip the chance to do what he does best.
You may have heard the news. Last week, we learned that The Late Show will be ending in May. Over the weekend, it sunk in that they're killing off our show. But they made one mistake. They left me alive. Over the weekend, somebody at CBS followed up their gracious press release with a gracious anonymous leak saying they pulled the plug on our show because of losses pegged between $40 million and $50 million a year.
Crack jokes that sting while exposing hypocrisy. In his own sharp, sarcastic style, Colbert turned the cancellation of his show into a spectacle, using every opportunity to roast Trump right into the ground. And the result? Well, let's just say Trump did not take it well. Instead of treating his cancellation like bad news, Colbert reframed it as a badge of honor. He jumped into his monologue with the energy of someone who, rather than being silenced, had been amplified. "I've been canceled before. It didn't work," he said with a smirk, adding, "I just came back louder." He wasted no time diving into Trump's ego, laying it all out like a comedic autopsy. Trump's favorite moves, pointless delays, endless complaints, and of course crying hoax every other minute were all served up to the crowd in steaming, joke-filled portions. When the audience laughed, Colbert seemed to lean further into the moment, pushing the boundaries even more. But when Trump got wind of these jabs, his reaction was as predictable as it was bizarre.
On Friday, the Wall Street Journal dropped an absolute bombshell. They are reporting that in 2003, Trump sent a birthday letter to Jeffrey Epstein for his 50th birthday that was sexually suggested. According to the Wall Street Journal, Trump's letter featured several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with heavy mark. Yeah, it's the most inappropriate birthday gift since Carvel debuted Fudgy the Hung Like a Whale. That means Donald Trump has drawn pubic hair on every executive order.
Trump, like clockwork, responded with one of his go-to strategies, name-calling. But this time, it wasn't even clever. He took to his platform and referred to Colbert as Colbert, as if mispronouncing the name would somehow pack a punch. Why? That's the million-dollar question. A former president of the United States, with countless issues demanding real attention, stooped so low as to mock a comedian's name. Was it funny? Not really. It felt more like watching that one guy at a party trying to one-up someone who already stole the show. The whole Colbert moment wasn't just a failed insult. It seemed to confirm exactly what Colbert had been saying all along. Trump, for all his bravado, remains thin-skinned when confronted with humor that pokes at his insecurities. And Colbert didn't hold back from pressing those buttons. He brought up Trump's infamous 2 weeks line, the one Trump constantly uses whenever he's promising grand action that never comes. Whether it's releasing tax returns, announcing lawsuits, or actually providing evidence for any of his claims, Trump always seems to ask for 2 weeks. Colbert joked that at this rate, the phrase should be engraved on Trump's tombstone. Then there was Trump's obsession with calling everything a hoax. Colbert wove it into his monologue with precision, pointing out the absurdity of crying hoax at everything from election investigations to climate change.
That's terrible, using your signature to signify pubic hair. As strange as that sounds, the typewritten part of the letter is even stranger. That is not only weird and creepy, that is pure absurdist dialogue. It's not a behavior befitting a president, with the possible exception of President Bush, but that's it. It reminds me of the end of Waiting for Godot. Well, shall we go? Yes, let's go. They sneak into a teen beauty pageant dressing room. Because it appears to be sort of a short, creepy screenplay between Trump and Epstein that goes, voiceover. There must be more to life than having everything.
At this point, Colbert quipped, if Trump saw snow in July, he'd call it fake weather. Very fake. Worst weather ever. These jokes weren't just comedy, they were a direct hit on Trump's weak spots. And as history shows, Trump doesn't handle criticism well, especially not from comedians. Looking back, Trump's pattern of lashing out at critics, particularly those in entertainment, has always revolved around his need to dominate the narrative. It's not about the joke itself or even the comedian, it's about control. He's gone after everyone, from SNL to late night hosts like Jimmy Kimmel and Seth Meyers. But with Colbert, it feels personal. Maybe it's because Colbert's entire style is about stripping away facades and pointing at the absurdities that people like Trump cling to. Or maybe deep down, Trump knows Colbert is laughing at the parts of him he tries hardest to keep hidden, like his fragile ego or his inability to take a joke. What makes this all the more ironic is how much Trump's response plays right into Colbert's hands. Every tweet, every bizarre insult, every attempt to dismiss Colbert's humor only amplifies the jokes. Instead of silencing his critics, Trump ends up giving them more ammunition. Colbert himself even joked about this, saying, if Trump wants me canceled, he should just stop tweeting. That would do the trick.
According to court records, Trump flew on Epstein's plane at least 7 times. Now, that doesn't mean he did anything illegal, but it's not a great look when you fly on the pedophile's plane enough times to earn diamond pervert status.
I would give everybody a caveat, or that's a big word, but a warning that just because somebody flew on a plane doesn't mean they're a headgum pedophile. You've got innocent people on those flight logs that flew. President Trump has admitted he flew on those flights, and dozens of other Americans, I'm sure, wrote.
Nice try, buddy. But you can't folksy your way out of this one. Your Honor, my client is not responsible for all those doggone corpses they found.
And here's the kicker. Colbert's cancellation didn't feel like the defeat Trump might have imagined. Instead, it became a megaphone. The moment Trump reacted so defensively, Colbert's jokes became more than entertainment. They became a spotlight on Trump's most glaring vulnerabilities. It's proof that even in Hollywood, where cancellations often reek of defeat, satire can flip the script entirely. And for Trump, that means one certainty. Laughter hurts, especially when it's the whole room laughing at you. But there's more at stake here than just entertainment. Trump's response, or overreaction, to Colbert's jokes reveals something deeper about his tactics. While he loves to project strength and control, moments like this show how easily satire chips away at his armor. And that's exactly what we'll dig into next, the cracks in Trump's usual playbook. Because when it comes to the hoax card he so often loves to play, it turns out facts work even better than jokes at knocking him down a peg. Here's the thing, Trump's obsession with controlling public perception might have worked in the short term, but it has a funny way of backfiring. The more he throws the word hoax around, the more he ends up weakening it. Colbert pointed this out brilliantly, joking that if Trump ever found himself at a crime scene, his first words would probably be, fake blood, framed job. The joke landed, not just because it was funny, but because it hit on a truth everyone recognized. Trump isn't just denying reality, he's trying to rewrite it with the least convincing pen possible. This brings us back to Colbert's cancellation. Trump lashed out, mocked Colbert, and tried to downplay the comedian's jabs as irrelevant. But here's the irony. Trump's reaction just proved Colbert's point. By getting so worked up, by trying to dismiss Colbert's jokes as meaningless, Trump managed to shine an even brighter light on his own insecurities. The harder he pushed back, the more obvious it became that Colbert's jokes had struck a nerve. And that's where satire shines. It cuts through the noise like nothing else can. Colbert didn't just poke fun at Trump's ego or his love of the word hoax. He used humor to paint a clear picture of someone desperately trying and failing to maintain control. If facts alone weren't enough to shatter Trump's illusions, Colbert's jokes did the trick. Because at the end of the day, the truth isn't just inconvenient for Trump, it's the one thing he can't tweet away. What's so fascinating about all this isn't just the clash between Trump and Colbert, it's what what that clash reveals about larger issues of power, control, and free speech. And as we'll see, this isn't just personal. The stakes for truth in a world where accusations of hoaxes fly left and right couldn't be higher. Colbert's cancellation wasn't a moment of silence. It was a megaphone aimed directly at Trump's weakest points. With every punchline, Colbert exposed a truth that Trump works hard to bury. He's vulnerable when mocked, especially when the jokes hit close to home. Even more ironic, Trump's over-the-top reactions only amplified Colbert's voice, putting the joke squarely on him. When satire meets spin, satire always wins, and Colbert proved it. The lesson here is simple. Don't let censorship, political pressure, or fragile egos silence the microphone, because in the end, truth doesn't just survive, it finds a way to laugh louder.